morning, YouTube. Today we're going to be talking about the song Too High by Stevie Wonder. Now this song was from the Innervisions album around 1973. If you were around in that time, you probably had this album. This was really part of this classic Berry Gordy period. Just fantastic music that came out from Motown. The version that I'm going to show you is actually a version adapted from M.McDonald's version in 2003 when he did a Motown tribute album. Obviously, the original version was developed for keyboard. My version, of course, is for solo acoustic guitar. So the guitar's in standard tuning, and as before, I'm going to show you a little bit of the song, and then we'll dissect each section of the song. This is a very jazz tune. There's some tough chords in it, but I think you'll like it. So let's get started. She's a girl in a dream. She's a four-eyed cartoon monster on a TV screen. She takes another puff and says it's a crazy dream. Red is green. She's a tangerine. Too high, too high. I left the ground. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about how to play this tune. As I mentioned before, the guitar's in standard tuning. I do have a little bit of delay on the guitar amplifier, just to get a little kickback on this bass line. I've tried to incorporate a bass line into the song. This does have a heavy-duty bass line in it. Okay, the song really opens up on the A minor 7th chord here in the 5th position. And it's the way you need to play this, you need to get the bass line into this opening riff. And the bass line is sort of like, and you got to get that into your strumming of the A minor 7th chord. So it's, okay, so let me sort of scoot in closer here, and you can see my fingers to try to get a better idea. So it's, so you're just going up, down and up, and then you're going to release this finger from the A minor position here on the 5th fret, and then back down again, same thing, and then you're going to play this note here, which is on the 7th fret of the A string. So it's, and now you want to incorporate that into the A minor 7th chord. Of course, you've got a bar across here, and you're just using your ring finger on the 7th fret of the A string. So it's, you got to really emphasize that bass line. This little riff, riff 1 really, comes back essentially in each line of the chorus. And so you got to be able to go back to this and play it a couple of times before you go to the next line of the chorus. So it's, okay, so A minor 7th. So that's really the first part of the intro. Now the second part of the intro is really single notes. It's really played by a bass. In this, it would be played by a bass in this version. So it's, okay, something very similar to that. So it's, okay, song, it's sort of like this. Okay, so let me show you how to do that. You're going to be doing it all on the A string, and you're going to start here on the 8th fret of the A string, so it's going to be, just hit that, go down to the 7th fret, you're going to pull off to the 7th fret of the A string, so it's, go to the 6th fret of the A string, back to the 7th fret, another pull off from the 8 to the 7, okay, and then you're going to pull off from 6 to 5, 5 to 4, 4 to 3, 3 to 2, 2 to 1, and then open. Okay? So let's see if I can do that when I'm thinking about it. Okay? That's how you have to do that. And meanwhile, there's somebody singing, and you're going to go back to the A minor chord. So it's, okay? So that's the intro. I know it was a long intro, but you did go back to that a couple of times. You got to get that A minor riff, that first riff there. Okay, as soon as you finish that section, you're going to go into the chorus itself. Now these chords are extremely strange. I don't think I've ever seen another song with these chords. The first chord is an F sharp major flat fifth. Now the way you make an F sharp major flat fifth, you've got to move your, or you gotta cover the 3rd fret of the A string, the 3rd fret of the D string, the 3rd fret of the G string. And then you use your pointer finger and you put that on the 2nd fret of the low E. Very discordant sounding chord. That is an F sharp major flat fifth. Now the next chord is an E major flat fifth. Luckily, all you have to do is to slide down to the 1st fret and cover the 1st fret of the A, 1st fret of the D, and 1st fret of the G string, and you're just going to play the open E string. So it's, I'm too high, I'm too high, okay? That's how you get those chords. And then the 3rd chord in the chorus is a D major 7th flat and 5th. Now the way you make a D major 7th flat and 5th, here's a D major 7th, like this. So what you're going to do is you're going to just cover the 2nd fret of the B string and the 2nd fret of the high E string, and then you're going to put your pointer finger on the 1st fret of the G string, and you're going to strum from the D string down. Another discordant sound. Okay, and then the fourth chord is a C major 7th, which is in the 1st position. 1st finger on the 3rd fret of the A string, and then your pointer finger on the 2nd fret of the D string. Okay, so let's put those together because they sound strange apart. And they're kind of discordant even in the song. So it's, I'm too high, I'm too high. Okay, so that's how that's doing. So you got to sing that. I'm too high, I'm too high. Okay? Now the next chord is an A sharp major 7th. Now I play an A sharp major 7th up here in the 6th fret. This is the A sharp note on the E string, the low E string. And if you put your ring finger on the 7th fret of the D string, the 7th fret of the G string, and you put your middle finger on the 6th fret of the B string, and then you put your pointer finger on the 6th fret of the low E string. That is an A sharp major 7th, okay? And the reason that you want to play that in this position is because the next chord that you're going to go to is the Jimi Hendrix chord, which is the E7th sharp 9 sharp 5th. And the way you do that, you sort of make a D7 shape with your middle finger on the 6th fret of the A string, your pointer finger on the 5th fret of the D string, your ring finger on the 6th fret of the G string, and then your pinky finger is on the 7th fret of the B string. And you're basically playing this E7 sharp 9 sharp 7 sound. This is the Hendrix sound. You've heard that before in a lot of songs. Okay, and then the third chord is going back to an A minor 7, back to the riff that we talked about earlier. Okay, so let's put that together and see how that sounds. And I'll try to go through it slowly because it's kind of difficult. Okay, so it's I'm too high, F sharp major 7th flat and 5th to E major 7th flat and 5th, D major 7th flat and 5th, I'm too high, to a C major 7th, to an A sharp major 7th, and I ain't touched, and that's an E7 sharp 9 sharp 5th, touch the sky. So let's go ahead and put it together at a faster speed. So let's see if I can do it. I'm too high, and I ain't touched the ground. Okay, second line of the chorus is exactly the same chords, doing exactly the same thing again. Too high, I'm too high, and I ain't touched the sky. Okay, and then you're going to go back to the riff. Finally make it to the verse now. Okay, now the verse really opens up on an A minor 7th. On an A minor 7th. And it really starts with, she's a girl in a dream. So you get a good strum going, an A minor 7th. To a C sharp minor 7th, which is in the 4th fret. You're laying your finger across all the strings, and then you're going to go ahead and create the minor 7th, which is your middle finger on the 5th fret of the B string, and then your ring finger on the 6th fret of the D string. And then you're going to go to an F sharp minor 7. And then you're going to do a quick bounce to a D, and then back to an A minor 7. So the way that sounds is, she's a girl in a dream. She's a 4-eyed cartoon monster on a TV screen. You see how the strumming is, okay? You got to do that strumming. So you got to kind of emphasizing that. So watch my hand. She's a girl in a dream. She's a 4-eyed cartoon monster on a TV screen. Takes another puff and says it's his crazy scene. Okay, so we got it. A minor 7th, C sharp minor 7th, F sharp minor 7th, bounce to a D, and then back to an A minor 7th. And then you're going to go to an back to the to an A sharp major 7th again. As I just showed you before, that red is green. And instead of going to an E7th sharp 9 sharp 5th, you're going to go to a D sharp 9 sharp 11th, which is essentially the same shape, moved down 1 fret. So you're gonna just do the same little chord. You're gonna put your middle finger on the 6th fret of the A string, your pointer finger on the 5th fret of the D string, the ring finger on the 6th fret of the G string, and then your pointer finger on the 7th fret of the B string. So, and make sure you don't play the low E. because you're just playing the middle strings. So let's see how that sounds. That red is green, she's a tangerine, D sharp 9, sharp 11. And then you go back to the chorus again. I'm too high, I'm too high, and I ain't left the ground. Okay? So you play the whole chorus again, just like you did. The words are slightly different. And then you're going to go to another verse playing the same thing. She's a girl in her life, world's a superficial paradise. Same chords as you did before. And once you finish that, you're going to go to the bridge, which has a guitar solo in it. And the guitar solo essentially is made up of just an A minor chord that you stay on while the guitar solos. And you have to listen to the record. I won't show you any solos. I really don't do solos. So just stay on A minor. I think M.McDonald does some vocal ad-libs. And then he transitions by doing the second riff again, or the second part of the intro riff. So he goes. He does that again, then he goes back again for a little more on the A minor. Again, the riff too. Does that again, and then it goes into the chorus again, so it's I'm too high, I'm too high. Does the same thing again. Slightly different words, same kind of, same chords, same everything. Then he does another verse. She's a girl from my past. And it's the same verse chords again. And then we get into the outro part of this song. The outro part really sort of picks up after that last little D sharp 9, sharp 11. There's sort of an outro starting, and it starts on an F sharp minor 7th, which is in the 6th fret. Lay your finger across and on all the strings, and then you're going to put your ring finger on the 8th fret of the A string. So it's there's sort of an outro guitar solo on top of this, sort of a interlude, musical interlude. A sharp minor 7, move up 1 fret to a B minor 7th. So you're sort of going up the scale to a C minor 7th, back down to a B minor 7th, A sharp minor 7th, down to an A minor 7th. They said she's, and then it goes right into the chorus itself. Too high. Okay, it goes back into the chorus itself again. Too high, I'm too high, I ain't left the ground. It's going to do that again. It has a last line where it stays on the I'm too high twice, and then it goes back to the A minor 7th. Can't hang around no more. And then it goes to a D 9th, which is essentially made in the 5th fret by putting your ring finger on the 5th fret of the A string, and then you lay your ring finger on the lower, the 5th fret of the G, B, and the high E. And then you use your pointer finger and you put that on the 4th fret of the D string. And you're not playing the low E string, so that's a D9. So you're going to bounce, for the last part of this song, you're going to just bounce between A minor 7th and the D9. So it's can't hang around no more. To a D9, can't hang around. Too high. Back to a D9. So let's see how that goes. I'll try to play that little as it goes into that section. So it's I'm too high, I'm too high, can't hang around no more. Can't hang around no more. listen to the M.McDonald version of this song. Okay, you do that 3 times, then you go back to the second riff again. And then the song ends on an A minor ninth. And you just hold it. And the way you make the A minor ninth is you do an A minor 7th on the 5th fret, then you just put your pinky finger on the 7th fret of the high E. Okay folks, that's it. That's how you play the song Too High by Stevie Wonder. My version for the solo acoustic guitar, a real challenge for the fingers. I'd like to challenge somebody to put up a cover of this song. Sure like to have someone who could sing it and play it in the jazz style that it deserves. So as before, if you have any questions about this or any of my other videos, go ahead and leave a question or comment at my YouTube channel. And as always, have a great day and we'll catch you later.